rig build time again.
I'm ready.
Yes, this year we've done good. I think we've not blown our budget.
Well, yeah. I mean, the tradition at 42 Gear Street is that we do that. That's how we started the first time. But
Yep. Usually we set ourselves a budget and within 10 minutes we've completely overshot that budget. But this time I think I actually think this is the best rig we've built actually for the money.
Really?
Yeah, I actually think we've got the most amount of stuff for under budget. Usually we set ourselves a budget of like £1,500 or £1,000 to £1,500, and that normally allows us budget to pick like a guitar, an amp, and maybe like 1 or 2 pedals. That's usually been the standard.
Yeah.
But this time we've actually managed to get a lot of stuff for the money, which that's why I'm quite excited about it, because what we've now built is basically like a fully functioning rig that you could pretty much do anything with.
Yeah, I would agree actually, and that is helped by the fact that this year we also have like a wide range of brands with affordable stuff.
Yes.
So that definitely helps us out. But yeah, when we were going around the tent looking at the products and thinking what we could put in this, there were so many options as well, and like you guys will see what we've selected, but there would have been other things that would have fitted in there too. So yeah. It's been a good year.
Yes. So should we start with the guitars?
Yeah, let's go for it.
So we picked a guitar each for within the budget. And the good thing is, as Rich said, there's a lot of brands here this year who have some really well-priced stuff. And the quality of the well-priced stuff actually means that this year we could spend a little bit more money on guitars and get a much higher quality product. So I've picked this guitar, which is from the good people at Henry's. And this is from their Relic series. So everyone knows I love HSS Strats. So this couldn't really have been much more of a perfect choice for me in terms of an affordable rig. This comes in at €699, which if you're watching from the UK, that translates to roughly £600. And you get a lot of guitar for the money.
Yeah, it's a very beautiful, very eye-catching instrument. And I believe you happen to own a Schecter Nick Johnston, right, in a similar color scheme to this one. That's a very eye-catching guitar too, and this has its own unique thing going on as well. Like it's got some unique twists, and we've got this relic job as well. I know that's going to be divisive, but I think,
and the satin,
especially for this price point, it's been done really well.
Yeah.
So you've got that relic job, you've got a satin finish, got a nitro finish to the neck, and these guitars are also super light because the body's a Paolonia wood, so it's less than 3 kilograms, 7 pounds maybe, something like that.
I think the guys from Henry said it's like 2.9 or 2.8 kilos or something.
2.93 is
there was a really exact number that they were shooting for, and they've done a great job.
But a real nice rosewood board, the edges are rolled really nicely.
Rounded off frets, locking tuners, roasted maple neck. They've kind of managed to get all the premium features like into a very well priced instrument.
It's a really, really nice guitar. Like there's a couple of them around and they are all fantastic, and an HSS Strat is something that you can play anything with. And there's no genre that you can't cover with that guitar. So exactly. For $699, that's almost half, but not even half of the budget, and you're onto a winner straight away. Yeah,
I kind of think like every year that we come to Gear Street, there's always like one brand who does something semi-affordable, and they always end up being like the standout brand. And this year,
I've literally just said that in another video.
Exactly.
And that brand was Henry's this year. Exactly. Yeah.
It's so good for the money. Like I've seen them and I've been kind of watching them for a while, and like, you know, you always kind of imagine that they're going to be pretty good because you hear them on other people's videos, but when you actually play them, you think, wow, you know, how do they do that for the money?
Exactly.
To actually hit what they're doing.
And you can, by the way, buy them non-relic if you would prefer a non-relic version. So there is that aspect to it too. And actually the non-relic ones are slightly cheaper. They are.
So arguably we could have done this cheaper again, but we chose relic just because we had the budget for it.
We did.
And even though, and this is where this rig build gets really astounding, even though we spent more or less half the budget on that guitar alone, we still managed to get so much more stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I believe you also have a guitar choice.
Yeah, I decided because we've got an HSS there, that's going to be a versatile all-round thing that's great for modern styles as well. And I wanted to see where could we go kind of opposite to that. And I thought something in the vein of a semi-acoustic, maybe something a bit like a 335 would work. And that's where this comes in. And this is the 2025 Ibanez AS73.
Yeah, there's a lot of numbers and letters to remember with Ibanez products.
Yeah, exactly. Again, it's satin, so that's beautiful. So it's kind of a modern look of that, but it's going to have your classic Ibanez humbuckers, and the neck is going to be nice and chunky as well. The neck is semi kind of medium C, isn't it, on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's not super skinny. Like, I think a lot of brands these days, I guess it's just the kind of the trend of modern guitar building. They kind of operate towards a slightly slimmer feel.
Yeah.
But me preferring slightly older feeling guitars, I do like that there's a bit of chunk to this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and there's a bit of chunk to this one as well.
Yeah.
And this is going to be slightly more affordable than the Henrys.
Yeah.
In euros, this is about 550, which I guess would translate to 499.
Yeah, top of the 400s.
In British pounds.
Yeah.
It's a really classy guitar, and they do it in more kind of traditional finishes. So if you want a burst or something like that, you can get it. And they do a few more with some sort of blingy, almost tree of life like inlays as well, if you want to go down that route as well. But yeah, this is just a rock solid guitar. Super versatile as well, but it's going to be great if you want to play jazzier stuff, that kind of thing. Ibanez hardware on it, satin neck as well, which I really, really like.
The color is incredible. I love the satin silver.
Moonstone silver flat.
Yeah, Moonstone silver.
It's written on the back of the guitar, so I know.
Yeah.
Like, Ibanez are always very helpful and give us a spec sheet on the back there. So that's
which
really,
is very
really
useful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ibanez.
Yeah, but that's just a slightly different direction that you could go in if you needed to save 150 euros and buy another pedal or whatever you wanted to do in your budget range.
One thing that's really interesting about this is, and I didn't think, on paper I wouldn't have liked this, but seeing it I do like it, is actually the contrast of a silver guitar with gold hardware.
Yeah, I suppose, now you say it.
Normally, like, you would have, you know, most silver guitars tend to have chrome hardware.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting, actually, that Ibanez have gone with gold hardware, but I actually do quite like that. It actually looks quite classy.
Yeah, if you strip the bits back and sort of look at everything individually, like having a tortoiseshell guard as well. If you read that on paper, you'd think, oh, that's going to be quite busy looking, maybe a bit
somehow
ugly,
it comes together somehow.
For me, it totally works.
Yeah.
And, I got to try these out in December last year when we went to Ibanez Germany to prepare some videos for this year.
Right.
I think you possibly tried this when
I would have tried
earlier this year.
Yeah, I think I tried like a variation of this in a different color. I don't think I've played a silver one.
Okay.
But I'm sure they had like a different color of this that I've tried.
But they had a really sort of almost forest greeny one as well, which I think is
I think that's the one I've played. Yeah, really I think I've played the green one.
Yeah, and rosewood board on this as well, which I always like to have if I can have one. So for 550 euros, I think this is going to be a great choice.
Yes. Yeah, it's hard to beat.
But like you were saying though, there are even some more affordable guitars.
Yeah.
We haven't brought them here into our final considerations, but the Hartwood brand is around, the Gear for Music house brand Hartwood.
Yeah.
And they have a number of different options. Yeah. And I mean different in that they're not just making, you know, S-style and T-style copies.
They've got some guitars that have like really blown my mind this weekend. Yeah. There's one which I haven't used in any videos this weekend, but it's like a single cut style. With kind of go faster stripes on it. It's kind of like their take on like a Duesenberg.
Oh yeah, the Speedway. That's cool.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Have you played that?
Yeah, it's really nice.
It's less than £300.
Yeah.
Like I literally said to the guy from Hartwood, I said I would take this on stage right now and play it. Like I wouldn't even have questioned that it was a guitar in that price.
Yeah.
Like what a cool instrument.
Yeah, that one really reminds me of. You familiar with Italia guitars?
I remember
the Trev Wilkinson brand.
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing. Those were based on Italian guitars from like the 60s or whatever. Those kind of zany designs.
Yeah, very cool. I really like that.
Yeah.
And there's actually, funnily enough, a short scale bass that is really cool.
The offset one. The Drifter, is it?
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's £170.
Yeah.
or like £190 or something.
Yeah.
And they've got an acoustic which is £450. And it's got like built-in chorus, delay, reverb.
Oh, really?
It's basically like the Yamaha Trans Acoustic.
I was going to say it reminds me of
for
that,
like a third of the price.
Interesting.
That is definitely worth checking out. It's again, bit of a mind blower.
Yeah. Wow. So if you wanted to do this rig, but you wanted to grab an acoustic guitar and an electric, you could actually get those too, like a Hartwood electric and the acoustic. Yeah. Alongside the rest of the rig that we're about to tell you, and you'd still be within 1,500.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so
crazy.
So amp-wise, what we've done is like last year, because of time constraints and Gear Street is a bit hectic at the best of times. This is actually the last part of the video series that we're filming, like we did last year. So we've actually already filmed the final version. So if you want to hear how all this stuff sounds, there's going to be a link down below over to Rich's channel where you can hear how all this stuff works together. So amp-wise, we can't show you the amp now because the amp is no longer here. But the amp we chose was the new Blackstar ID X50. And that's the kind of new continuation of Blackstar's ID core series of amps. It's like digital amps, but it sounds absolutely fantastic. And it actually retails, the 50 watt version is like £350 in the UK or something like that. I think they're like 400 euros.
Yeah.
So yeah, like 350, 360 in the UK. 50 watt amp, 12-inch speaker, like 6 different channels, hundreds of presets, and yeah, 6 different amp types in there, sorry. Built-in effects. There's like, one thing that's really cool is we didn't dive into it in our video, but I did another deep dive video on it later on, and you can actually go into, they've got pre and post effects on there. So arguably, you could actually, again, do this rig even cheaper, which we didn't know at the time. But in the pre and post effects section, there's like compressors, overdrive pedals, fuzzes. There's like a clone, there's like a tube screamer, there's like 4 or 5 different fuzz pedals in there, there's 2 different compressors, there's an auto wah, and then you've got like post effects, there's like chorus, flanger, tremolo, vibrato, there's reverbs, delays. So arguably we could have probably built the rig for under £1,000.
So the whole
had I known all those features were in there when we shot that video.
Okay. And can you actually like use more than one effect per preset or whatever, do you know?
You can, 1 per bank, so you've got like pre-effects and post-effects,
so
and then delay and reverb.
Okay, so you could have, like, if you wanted to do this, you could have a fuzz, then a tremolo, then a delay, then a reverb.
Yeah, but then you can have a different patch. Because there's 3 banks of 3 patches built into the amp, but then you can use a foot switch to recall more.
Okay, yeah.
But on the amp, you can switch between like 3. So you could have like a clean sound, an overdriven sound, and then like a whatever sound. But then per bank of patches, or actually per patch, you can change the pedals as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, really the sky's the limit. You can only use 1 of each at a time, but you can use as many, different patches as you can imagine.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, we didn't know that. I mean...
No, I didn't know that at the time. So
I'd never tried those amps at all before we did the playing part of our video, and I was really impressed straight away by the 3 basic sounds that we were calling up.
Yeah.
Like on the amp's control panel, you have, I think, is it direct access to channel 1, 2, and 3 right there? And just moving between those, we had a nice clean with some reverb. We had a kind of light to medium crunch, and then a heavier rock sort of a sound, and they just work straight away. Where
those 3 buttons are on top of the amp, there's actually a button before those, which actually goes through the 3 banks of presets on the amp. So there's 3 banks of 3 on the amp. So actually 9 presets on the amp, and then a foot switch to recall beyond that.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool.
That is a pretty cool thing, yeah. And that amp can basically do everything. And connectivity-wise, it's got all the DIs and all that.
Yeah.
Does it have a headphone out or anything like that? Do you know?
I didn't look on the back long enough, but it's got cab rig out. So you can use Blackstar's Cabinet Simulator cab rig.
Okay.
It's only a jack out on the 50, but there's also a 100 watt version of that amp, which is like €100 more, and that's got an XLR output.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Interesting. But yeah, that's a great little amp.
Yeah.
I would love to spend a bit more time playing with one of those. But it sounded great straight out of the box with the Henry's HSS and with the Ibanez as well. So it was top pick for both of those guitars.
Effortless.
Yeah, exactly.
Effortless. Then we come on to pedals. So this is the bit, actually, had I known all that stuff about the IDX, we could have actually bypassed this entire next section. But we didn't, because...
Also, pedals are fun.
Pedals are fun.
Yeah.
So... going back to Hartwood, and again, the other reason we didn't choose one of their guitars is because we've actually chosen their pedals. Hartwood brought a range of pedals to the event, and originally we were kind of thinking, let's pick 1 or 2 of them, and that'll kind of be our little sound. But then Rich very kindly informed me that these pedals actually retail for $29.99 each. So I said, why don't we just use them all? Because that gives us just over £200 worth of budget, and we've got 7 different pedals.
7 different pedals for the price of 1 boutique overdrive, if you will.
Yeah. So we've got the Santa Fe Fuzz.
That's a fuzz face type pedal, and it's a mean old fuzz face. It's great, and it's got loads of headroom in it, which often some more expensive fuzz face pedals might not have.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
And even though these are like super affordable, they're actually like the quality of them feels pretty good. Like the switch has got a nice click to it. The pots feel pretty good. There's no kind of like scratchy feeling.
They're fairly
like,
solid.
Yeah, they feel like great pedals.
I've done already a full-length video with the Santa Fe Fuzz and with a couple of the other pedals, which is on my channel if you'd like to watch it. But I said that in that video as well, like quality-wise, you know, for the price, like, and they're no-brainers, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So we also, well, we literally chose them all. So we've got the Blue Ridge Overdrive,
which is a blues breaker style of overdrive pedal.
Yep, it's got 2 modes, bright and normal, three controls, volume, gain, and tone. Yeah, everything you kind of need in a good blues breakery pedal.
Yep.
The Beartooth Distortion.
That's a Rat with actually a 3-way mini switch that gives you 3 different Rat pedals in one, effectively.
Solo, turbo, and normal.
Yeah, exactly. A solo Rat, turbo Rat, and a standard.
I was going to say I'm not that clued up on the Rat thing. It kind of bypassed me. It's not my favorite sound. But I remember the turbo Rat was like a modded Rat, wasn't it? Kind of. And then so it's all those in one, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
What else have we got? The Baltimore Boost.
This is a brand new one that I've not tried before, but we turned that on straight away and said, wow, the boost knob itself is surprisingly transparent and clean. And then what surprised us positively as well is the fact that you've got a 2-band EQ. Yeah. So you've got your bass and your treble controls as well. That makes it really an extremely flexible little thing to have. Yeah, it's very cool. It's the sort of thing like you could use this as a lead boost, which is kind of how we had it set up in the video. But it could also be used as a cool way to like push another pedal. Yeah. So like if you put it in front of like the Blue Ridge, you could use this to kick in some extra gain or some extra punch into that, or just as like an always on kind of thing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It would be really cool to like, you know, maybe use this with a clean amp just to kind of take the amp to like an edge of breakup and then use other overdrive pedals to push it over the cliff. So that was pretty cool. The Collinsville Chorus. This is another one that I did as part of my other video. Alongside the Santa Fe Fuzz, the Blue Ridge, and the Beartooth. And it's a really interesting chorus pedal. It does your traditional chorus tones. Like it's a no-frills chorus pedal. Yeah. You can up the speed and you can up the, is it the depth? Is that what they call the third control? Yeah, you can up the speed and the depth and get some really sort of like fake rotary sort of Leslie sort of sounds going on as well. It's got this interesting almost slapback delay echo sound to it as well. Yeah, I've never seen that on a chorus pedal, but it's quite cool. No, me neither, but I've seen other videos of it where it does the same thing. So I assume it's supposed to do that, but it just gives you something different. And you know, just a lush little bit of chorus to sweeten up, fatten up a clean tone. You can always not go wrong with that. Yeah, exactly. The Chicago Flanger. This is another brand new one. And this, I'm reliably informed, is based around the most legendary flanger, which would be the Electro Harmonix Electric Mistress. Yeah. Yeah, that kind of the go-to template for flanger, really. Exactly, yeah. We've talked about this many times, but I think neither of us has ever been the world's hugest flange aficionado. No. But upon trying this, it's cool. It's got some subtle, sort of wobbly, almost vibey sounds out of it, and I'm looking forward to doing a video on this and seeing what I can make it do. Yeah. Like I've played guitar for like over 20 years, and I can really safely say I've never owned a flanger pedal, other than like obviously it's in multi-effects pedals, but I've never actually owned a flanger. Trying to think if I've ever owned a dedicated flanger. Like I've never owned like an Electric Mistress or like a Boss flanger. What's the Boss? The FL2 or whatever. I would have guessed FL2. Yeah. Like, I've never owned any of those for whatever reason. It's just an effect that has completely bypassed me, and like I kind of get some cool uses out of it, but it's never been a sound that I've always wanted. Yeah, same for me. I mean, all these things are taste things, you know. I've never been the world's biggest chorus person either, but I know people who never play without it, that kind of thing. Please place flanger recommendations down in the comments. Songs that we could look at, or artists. Educate us on songs and good flanger pedals. Let us know what flanger pedals are worth checking out. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, because I don't know. I'm useless with it. And then, what's this? The Everglade Analog Delay. And this is obviously a digital recreation of an analog delay, because you're not going to get true analog for £30. But I'm going to take a stab and say, like, based on the colour, they've kind of gone for that Boss DM2 thing. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. Which happens to be my favourite delay anyway. So same 3 controls as well, right? Yeah. Time feedback level. It seems to tick all the same boxes.
It sounds great. I like this one.
Yeah. What's nice about an analog delay is that like you can use it as a stylistic effect, or you can have it as an always-on thing to fatten up your tone, and it does that thing of kind of never getting in the way, like a digital delay might at some points, because it's a little bit darker, just kind of descends with your tone and never oversteps what you're trying to do. So.
Yeah, it doesn't quite do that full like analog delay going crazy oscillating thing, but you know. You can't have it. You can't have it all. It does everything else you want analog delay to do.
You got to pay a bit more than 30 quid probably to get the self oscillation.
Yes. So that was 7 pedals at £30 each, which then also again we just started spending budget for the sake of it. Like in the past, we've never included like a pedal board or a power supply. We've just had that as a given. But this year we actually had the budget to say we're actually going to include a pedal board in the pricing this time, and we're using the. Where's the logo? The Palmer Pedal Bay.
Yep, this is the Pedal Bay 40.
Yeah.
So this is got the 4 bars on it. I work for Palmer in my day job, just so you guys know that. We also make a 50, which is 50 centimeters across as opposed to 40, but just has the 2 bars, kind of in the nano format.
Okay,
and this is the smallest of the sort of dual layer ones that Palmer makes.
It was kind of the perfect size for this board because we kind of had like 4 and 3. I mean, you could probably fit pedals this size, probably like 5 on each, maybe even 6 if you really squeezed them in.
Yeah, you might be able to, but yeah, the good thing with these 7 is that you've got room for, let's say, a tuner, and the one effect that I would personally be missing here is a reverb. Yeah, that's all I would need, but it's in the amp, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're good,
in our case, it was in the amp. Yeah,
exactly.
This particular board, this retails for like €63. Which in the UK I think works out probably like £55 or something, which actually for a pedal board is incredible value. Because you've got the height adjustable legs as well, which is really cool. And obviously you can move the position of these middle 2 bars. Yep. So if you've got some pedals that are wider or deeper than others, you can kind of shift that around as well, which is very cool. So like 50 quid for a pedal board, 30 quid each for 7 pedals. I mean, you've got a full pedal rig there for probably less than £300.
Yep.
Which is mad. This board's actually available with a power supply as well, which like mounts underneath, and those are like they're slightly more, like €100-ish more, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it actually doesn't mount underneath, but we call it a power bar. So I'm going into brand.
Right. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it.
We call it power bar, and it is the same shape as one of these bars.
Okay.
And it replaces one of the bars. So what you do is you use the Allen key. Take out one of the bars that you want to take out. Most people would use the top one because it's then easier to access.
Yeah, makes sense.
You replace that bar with the power bar, and then all your power stuff is within the bar, so to speak. So that's how that works.
Wow.
But yeah, all of them come with this these little, whatever you would call them, thingies.
For mounting other power.
To mount an external power supply.
Right, okay.
If you might have more than 8 or 10, you might need a second power supply or whatever. Yeah. But the choice is yours.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. That's interesting. So yeah, that's really cool. And we also picked a separate power supply just because, which was also a Palmer power supply, but I'm going to leave you reel the model number of that off because I can't remember.
It is the catchily named Palmer PWT12IEC.
Right, there we go.
So that's it's got 12 outputs. It's IEC, refers to the fact that it plugs in via a chunky kettle lead.
I much prefer that for power supply.
Got a nice solid on-off switch, 2 amps overall of power, so plenty of juice.
Wow, okay.
Variable voltage on a couple of the pedals if you want as well, if you want to starve a fuzz or something like that for that spitty effect, or if you've got an older pedal that needs 12 volts or something like that, because you occasionally do. And it's got a couple of USB ports on the back as well, so you can charge your phone or whatever way.
You can charge your phone mid-gig.
Plug in a MIDI keyboard if you'd like to and plunk away on that.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's a decent solid power supply and it fits nicely under there. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
And I think that was kind of everything. But I mean, like I said, we got a lot of gear for our money this year.
We did. I mean, thinking about it, like these 2 guitars, both rock solid. You can take them on stage straight away.
Yeah. Do
your thing. The amp, for me, a totally new discovery.
Fantastic.
For you, you're a lot more familiar with the Blackstar stuff, but it just sounded great straight out of the box. And like, we didn't spend any time dialing it in.
No.
Doing
Same with the pedals, like just so easy to get a good sound out of.
Yeah.
Straight to the point. The board's rock solid. The power supply was easy to set up. And we've done a rough calculation, quickly try to convert euros and pounds and whatnot. And I've worked out, I'm going to have the exact prices show up on screen of all of this stuff as well, but I've worked out that this has come to, including the board and the power supply. How much is the power supply? Like 160
maybe 100.
Yeah, 150 150, 160
£150 maybe?
Something
Or
like that.
euros? I actually don't know.
It's around that
know
price.
that. Yeah,
The 140, 150 pounds, something like that. Including the board and the power supply, which we don't normally include, we've still managed to come to like 1350-ish in pounds.
Yeah.
So that's like probably like 1450 euros, 1500 euros.
Maybe 1500, perhaps a tiny bit over, but really, nothing significant.
Yeah. And for that, you get a guitar, an amp which is loud enough and big enough to gig with, I should add.
Yep.
So a guitar, an amp, a pedal board, a power supply, and 7 pedals. And we've still got £150 change to buy cables.
That's a pretty good haul, I would say.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed with that.
In the video, we actually used some Adam Hall patch cables as well.
Yep.
I don't know the price on those.
They would come in probably at, if you're looking at the shortest ones that we use would be about 10 centimeters, that's 3.5 inches or whatever that
I think we used a bunch of those, and then we used one long one.
And then we used some longer ones, and those would come in at like between probably 3 and 5 or 6 euros or pounds per cable.
So probably like another 50 euros to cable the board up.
Yeah, probably, tops.
So yeah, that takes up. So we've still got £100 change from 1500.
Yeah.
At the end of it as well.
Grab a tuner pedal if you want, and you're good. Does the Blackstar amp have a tuner in it?
It does. I think it does. I didn't check, but other Blackstar digital amps have.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I'm gonna take a stab and say it probably does have a tuner. But you can never go wrong if you have a tuner on your board. So yeah, you've got £100 change. What are you gonna do with it? let us know down below in the comments what you're gonna spend your extra £100 on. I think that was a good rig. I'm really impressed with that, actually, like how much we got this time.
I'd be happy to take all of this home with me and just play with that for the next year till next time, to be honest.
It's gig ready. Like, you could just take that, put the guitar in a gig bag, pedal board in one hand, amp in the other hand, go and play a gig. No bother.
Yeah, no problem. Simple and easy. The Blackstar does a lot more than you need it to in that regard.
Yeah.
You can go deep with it, but you don't need to. You can use one bass sound and then, basic clean tone with a bit of reverb, and then use these pedals, and you've got everything. And it's like, I think for this price point as well, getting a whole rig like this, it would inspire me so much.
Yeah.
If I was a starting out player or someone who wanted to kind of take my playing to the next level and wanted to get like a whole giggable setup that I could also play at home.
Yeah,
because you can do that with this amp and these pedals and that guitar.
What's really cool, it's kind of just dawned on me that I really wish we had more time to get to know the Blackstar beforehand, because what I know now about it would have been really useful at this point, is that even though we have selected a wide range of pedals, everything that's missing from here is also built into the amp. So your reverb is built into the amp. There's an octave fuzz in the amp. There's a tremolo and a vibrato in the amp, which we don't have. There's a compressor in the amp, which we don't have. So collectively, between these 7 pedals and the amp, you literally have everything you could ever need.
Yeah, you're covered. You need nothing more. Although, of course, being a guitar player,
you
will buy more.
Yeah,
exactly.
There is always more.
No, but to be totally honest, for me, I think the one thing I would get would be a tuner pedal for the board.
Yeah, that's where I would spend
I would want to have one of those, and then I'd be done. I'd be sorted.
Yeah.
And a reverb.
So Hartwood, make a tuner and a reverb, and then this will be the perfect rig. So please add those to your lineup.
That'd be great.
Yeah, these are cool pedals. I'm really surprised like how good they are for 30 quid. It's great.
Yeah, they're really decent. They're really solid, and I can't remember which I said I preferred out of all of them in the video that I did, but like out of the ones I played this weekend, just going back to the Santa Fe fuzz, it's just such a mean-sounding fuzz face. I really, really like it. So
it's such a good fuzz that even Henning liked it, and Henning doesn't like.
That was the main thing.
Henning famously doesn't like fuzz, and even he said this was a good fuzz. So
yeah, that was the fuzz that made a fuzz hater like fuzz.
Yeah.
I mean, what more can you say about it?
Yeah, there's a review of it right there for you.
Should be on their website.
Henning likes it, so go and buy one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was fun. I think we did a good job. Came in under budget. Let us know what you think. Let us know down below in the comments what you think we might have missed. Because that's always the thing. I think we always miss one key thing. I do think this year we've pretty much nailed everything that we could have, like within reason, like, what we had available to us.
Yeah, this year I'm struggling to think what else we could have done.
Yeah.
To be honest. But there is no weak link in this rig.
No.
A couple of times in the past we've had it where we're like, we had to sort of cut a corner here or go massively over budget on an amp or whatever because there wasn't anything. But this time we're good.
We've come in comfortably under budget, and you can still buy a tuner pedal and probably still have 30 quid change left over.
Yeah. Petrol to the gig.
Petrol to the gig and back. Yeah. There we go. There's your £1,500 spent.
Yeah, you're good. Enjoy.
There we go. Well, go over to Rich's channel. There's some links down below where you can find all the sounds from this. We did a video on Rich's channel where we, set all this stuff up and played through it. And there's also a video of me and Rich building this pedal board, which we also filmed. So that's, I guess, kind of part 2.
Yeah.
So actually go watch the pedal board build first and see how we put that together. And then that segues into Rich's video where we talk about the whole rig and you hear everything through the amp and in full swing.
That's a pretty great trio of videos. If you're on a Sunday night, you got nothing to do, I'd whack that on and enjoy.
Yeah.
Cool.
There we go. Well, go and check out those videos. Let us know what you think. Let us know if there's anything you think we've missed. And check out all the other content from the event as well. After, of course, you check out our 3 videos. Those are the most important ones to be watching.
Absolutely, they are.
Then go and look at the other ones. 42GS7 is the hashtag. There's tons of cool content on there from us and the other creators. Go check out Rich's channel as well. Big thanks to Henning for having us at the event again and putting the event on. So it's always a highlight of the summer to come here.
Yep.
And obviously the team that make this thing run like clockwork, the brands who make all this happen, and everyone else involved. It's just, it's a great time. Go check it out. Let us know what you think, and see you guys soon.